listing got shut down. Yes, you heard that right. It really does happen. You've heard these nightmare stories of hosts being shut down, but it's gotta be for extreme issues, right? For those terrible, terrible hosts. Well, it happens to good hosts. It happens to Superhosts. It happened to us. So we want to tell you how we handled it.
But stick around to the end because we'll tell you how we actually got a same-day booking even though our listing was shut down by Airbnb.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
And I'm Annette Grant.
And together we are
Thanks for visiting. We've been hosting for well over a decade, welcomed tens of thousands of guests, and earned thousands of 5-star reviews.
Our portfolio continues to bring in over 1.5 million year over year, and supported not only by the industry's leading brands, but also some of the biggest media outlets.
And we're here to help you with your furnished rental.
All right, here's how it all went down. It was like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, something like that. And the guest called Airbnb first. It's interesting. She didn't call 911. She didn't call us. She called Airbnb and told Airbnb that she smelled gas. Airbnb immediately removed her from the home and got her another place to stay. They didn't tell us that she was actually gone from the unit, so we had to figure that out. But we immediately called the gas company to have them come out and obviously check the building, because that's the thing too, is a multifamily. Like, I was panicked.
Oh, that's a good point. This is a building that has 4 units, so It's not just going to be impacting that one property.
No. It was interesting because technically you can't smell carbon monoxide, but whatever. She smelled something not great, and I totally get it. Like, your safety comes first. But she didn't let us know. She didn't call anyone. She called Airbnb. Airbnb didn't let us know until later that morning, and we had to dig and find out that she was actually gone. So we called the gas company. The gas company came out immediately, which is great. This is actually a little TFE pro tip for you. Already know what to do in the most common emergency situations. And so we knew that we could call the gas company and they would have no problem coming out right away. Now, if they come out and they smell gas, they're going to take the measures necessary to secure the building, and which includes removing everyone in it. So I didn't know how my day was going to shape up.
And you don't call the fire department. You want to call the gas company.
Yes.
Exactly. Right?
Yes. Okay. Well, what you could do is, I don't know if there's different protocols for different jurisdictions. I just knew that my gas supplier, I asked them if there's any sort of safety concern, what am I supposed to do? Because I moved here from a different city, and I wanted to know what to do. So I'm not sure, because in New York we would call the fire department.
Okay.
But either way.
I think the fire department will end up calling the gas company. So
maybe
1-2. 1-2 punch works out.
They came out, and just being the person that I am with being like, I need to get all the things in place, the gas company came out and they gave us a clear bill of there's no safety hazards here. They went outside the building, they went inside the building, they went to every unit, they went to the basement. There was no gas leak to be detected. We couldn't really even smell the smell she was smelling either, so I don't really know what that was about. They gave us a piece of paper that had the address on it, it had our name on it, and it had the fact that there was no issue and that residents could stay in place. Okay.
Drum roll, by the way. This whole entire time, we have no idea that the listing is actually shut down.
Right. They don't. Airbnb
told us did not share that.
Our guest had called, didn't tell us they removed her, and then didn't tell us the listing was gone. So I go on to tell the guest, because I wanted to let her know, your life was not in danger. I'm glad you're in a different place. I hope that you feel whatever, but I just wanted to let her know that there really was no danger at that time. And that's how I found out the listing was unlisted. So I reached out to Airbnb support and I was like, hey guys, first of all, here is the notification from the gas company that we are fine. You unlisted our property without giving us without telling me, and then without giving me an opportunity to share with you that we already took the safety measures. And they responded with, there is, like, if the guest tells us that there's an issue, like, essentially, they're going to close you down. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They're going to unlist you. And then they didn't like the document that the gas company gave me.
Right.
They were like, well, it needs to have the date and time, and it needs to have the name of the property owner on it. And I was like, I'm the licensed property manager. Like, I'm literally paid to manage the property for the owner. So my name's not on the property, and I don't even know how you would know anyway, Airbnb, like, who owns the property. So they just wanted these, like, specifics. And of course, I got to calling the gas company, and they have dinosaur type processes. Like, they wanted me to fax things, and I was just like, it was like obviously your whole day's derailed because I am just focused on getting that property listed again.
well, first you were focused on getting the guests taken care of. Once that was done,
yes.
then the property up. And just a side note here, the reason that this was such a huge issue for the guest, she had just encountered a gas leak at her personal
She did.
property. So after uncovering that, we understood why she got so scared so quickly and vacated instead of reaching out to us, let her know that we just had the building checked actually. So I do want to share that is something that the guest had just gone through. So she had heightened fear around and sensitivity around the gas that she actually did not smell, but she had that incident, so she was kind of having those phantom scents from the very recent incident she just had encountered.
Here's the tough part. Now that we can focus on the business side because she was safe and the building's safe, I feel like I can share this part. She was booked for at least 5 or 6 days. So this is a big chunk of money that Airbnb just refunded to her, moved to a different place, and then unlisted me, so I couldn't even try to recoup that reservation in that moment in time, even though I had done the right thing, which is call the gas company and give me the clear bill of health. So long story short, I did all the things that I had to do. I called the gas company. I was like, listen, we're licensed short-term rental. We're listed on Airbnb. They're asking me for these specific things. Can you provide them for me? They could, but they can't email it to me. They had to fax it to me. Who faxes anymore? I don't know. So then
Kinko's. You go to Kinko's.
explaining to Annette that Kinko's isn't around anymore.
Right.
Like,
So
this
I
is
had
what
to
my
learn
day was like.
that you go to FedEx, not Kinko's.
So then I gave the gas company, FedEx, I think it was Staples. I called Staples. This is my rotary phone. I called Staples and I was like, Staples, I need to fax you something. Is this something you can help me with? They're like, yes. I ask them for their fax number. I give the gas company the fax number. The gas company says they faxed it to Staples. Hours go by. Staples has not received it. And I was like, I don't know how long a facsimile takes to send because I am in 2024 and we send emails now. Never received it. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to download one of those like fax
app.
apps and put matters in my own
smart.
hand.
That was smart. Should have done that from the get-go, just
Right.
FYI.
I just thought Staples would be, I don't know, like they do this every day.
Well, if Kinko's was still around, you could have.
It probably
They
would've
would have
been
taken
fine.
care of it.
So that worked. I again gave the gas company my new fax number on this app and they faxed over. It came in and I was like, hallelujah. Sent it to Airbnb support. I honestly can't tell you how fast they relisted my place because, spoiler alert and maybe teaser, it didn't really matter.
This is our public service announcement, our host service announcement, that it does not matter. We have been on the platform for over a decade now, hosted thousands of guests, Superhost status. Your status will not matter when something like this happens. Airbnb will side with the guest.
So if I'm a Superhost, it doesn't matter.
No,
If I have a rating of 5.0, it doesn't matter.
no.
If I have all positive reviews, it doesn't matter.
No, your status does not matter here. And rightfully so if the guest truly is in danger. But like I said, there wasn't even a call, there wasn't even a heads up here for us to be able to give our side of the story. There were no two sides to the story. And I want to share, we have some other friends of ours that have been Superhosts. They've hosted, again, tens of thousands of guests, multiple properties. They actually have partnered with Airbnb, and the same thing has recently happened to them because of a claim, a false claim
Get this.
of cameras. And so I just want you to be aware this does happen, and we are here to share that it can happen to you, and you need to be prepared if this does happen to you. So you heard it from us that no one is safe. No one gets this complete pass that this could not happen to them.
So this person with the camera claim, the claim came from that there was an interior camera, which that's for another video, that there was an interior camera, so violating their safety. This guest had just joined the platform.
It was their first reservation.
First reservation, and the host is like an Airbnb ambassador, has been on the platform for years and years and years. I mean, works with Airbnb. And they took this guest's side, shut him down, and this guest got a free stay. So in our incident, like, I don't think she wanted a free stay. I think she really was panicked. But here's how I wish it had gone down and how I think is more logical. Yes, remove the guest, but then the whole, like, unlisting us.
Is where it got extreme.
Within hours, maybe for 24 hours, that I have an opportunity to prove that it's a safe place to stay. But that's not what happened. We were unlisted for weeks. It was not great. Before we get into how I was actually able to save our company from our clients or the owners of the property, because this is a co-hosted property, from wondering what the heck, why did we make no money this month? I want to reiterate that it was not easy to get us relisted. It was persistent. I told the whole story with the gas company. Yes, there's persistence there, but that didn't even begin to tell a story of being persistent with Airbnb. And let me just tell you a few stories. I'm the co-host on this listing, and you would think, being a co-host, Airbnb knows what that means. And I'm the primary host on the listing. That doesn't mean that I put the listing up on Airbnb. It just means that my face, and I'm the first person that would be contacted, because I am the primary host and I am the co-host on the property. Because my client doesn't want to be bothered.
That way, right?
Yeah. Airbnb kept calling my client, and my client,
is like
so aggravating, because he works a job. He does not. He literally pays us.
It's like that's the job that we're supposed to be doing.
Right. And he has no idea what's happening.
Right, which makes it even more terrible.
Because he's not on the app. He doesn't want to know. He does not care. He wants money at the end of the month. And I actually love it that way, because I am a control freak, and I like that he trusts me and that I can just send him money anyway. So Airbnb kept calling him that, and I had to tell the Airbnb via chat, because waiting on the call was also aggravating. I was like, please stop calling this man. He doesn't know what's happening. I went beyond the fact that I'm a co-host. I was like, in my city, in my state, I'm a licensed property manager. It is literally my fiduciary duty to take care of him and his building. You need to talk to me, and I don't understand why you have this co-host program and you are disregarding the fact that you should be able to talk to me. This went on for quite some time, days. Because when I would submit the document, prove just like they wanted, they still wanted to talk to my client. And they wouldn't even tell me why. They were like, we just have to talk to the listing owner. And I was like, well, I understand that, but he doesn't know what's happening.
Right, he's not going to be able to help you or give you any of the information you need.
So the lesson here that I want to share with you, if this happens to you, do not take no for an answer. Always remain calm. Always remain professional. Always have the benefit of the doubt that support person is misunderstanding something. You don't want to lose your cool with the largest online travel agency out there that probably brings you, like most people, a pretty significant portion of their bookings, okay? So it was very hard to stay cool and calm. Ask Annette here. It's not my strong suit, but I did. And we got it back up and running after, I think it was 10 days. But that was not without persistence.
Those 10 days would have been a lot longer and a lot more desperate had we not had a repeat guest fill in the vacancy. And I want you to listen to this, because she really saved the day. We send out automated messages after guest checkout to leave us Google reviews, which you should be doing this, especially if you have a direct booking site. And she reached out to us because she couldn't find the listing on Airbnb. So she had reached back out via that message. She wanted to book again. And she was like, hey guys, what's going on? We explained the situation to her, and this is what's amazing. We have our own direct booking site. So our property was fine, it was live, and we just redirected her, educated her, and redirected her to that direct booking site. And had those days, not only the days that the guest had canceled, but some of the extra days that were open also. So this is just where connecting with each and every guest, giving each and every guest an amazing stay, and having a direct booking platform. Have this in the wings. And here's the deal. Even if you don't have a direct booking platform yet, still reaching out to each and every guest, having a way for them to reach back out to you after their stay so you can book them again. Really, really save the day.
We get the question all the time on whether a host who has one property should have a property management software, or can they just be on Airbnb for a while until they grow or whatever. And to that I say, it really depends on your risk tolerance. Especially those of you who have high nightly rates. Just imagine how impactful it would be not to have revenue for 10 days if you had no other way, of connecting with guests. So that was important that we reach out to our guests via a different way to connect, because we have a messaging system that has automated capabilities, like sending them that Google review request. But also we have the direct booking capability. It could be as simple as you having a rental agreement ready and having that guest sign the rental agreement. You could email it to them. They can sign it on their computer, send it back. They can send you a payment There's a million different ways to exchange your money these days, so it doesn't even necessarily need to be on a PMS, but be prepared and start collecting information from guests so that we could have very easily sent a text out to all of our guests that day or an email saying, hey, last minute availability at this, and it is amazing property, and we could have gotten it filled because we had these backups for our backups, and we're not just sitting there waiting for someone to book on Airbnb.
Yeah, and who's to say that? What if the property would have never been relisted again? We were lucky that it got relisted fairly quickly, but there are hosts that they're not allowed back on the platform. So if this does happen to you, all right, it's gonna be a gut punch, but you got to rebound quickly.
Yeah.
Because quick action always on any sort of thing like this, with actually any issue with your guest, speed matters. Okay, and then that persistence afterwards. So you need to continue to stay on top of it. And like Sarah said earlier, it will be very hard and challenging, but you really do need to stay calm, stay professional, know that you're gonna be talking to a lot of people, and just prepare yourself for the reps that you're gonna have to put in, but you'll get to that end goal with the persistence.
And I can't reiterate enough, if your goal is to grow, you will need a direct booking website. It is your digital real estate, and it will become more valuable than you can ever imagine. Yes, this is one instance where it was very valuable for us, but there are so many other situations that we could share with you where it has come in clutch.
Now that we've warned you, we want you to check out our video on how to create your own direct booking site. Make sure to check that out next.
With that, I am Sarah Karakayan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are
Thanks for visiting. See you next time.